Good morning, fishy people. I'm Alan Norris from FishOn TV. It's Sunday, the 21st of September. I've just arrived here at the stunning Flask Reservoir, and it's for the autumn sweep that Wayne Bartholomew is running. I think there's 31 of us. I've never fished it until this week actually, and I've been down a couple of times practicing for Tamar. So I've been practicing at Underbank Reservoir here, Elsica, and I've probably got about 9 or 10 practice sessions in. So if you include the 2-day matches and this, it's definitely 10 practice sessions altogether. And it's, what I will say, I mean, it's what a stunning place. It's low as the res. And I've just been fishing for skimmers, roach and skimmers. The roach, I've had a couple of roach that have been lovely in here, sort of 6 or 8 ounce, and rudd, about 6 ounce, but mainly skimmers. And boy, my side tray was like hook length graveyard with the pike. Oh my God. I must have had 20 pike on both days roughly. Between 15 and 20 pike on, and probably lost a dozen hook lengths each day because of it. But that's not because I was by myself. I think Wayne says that it'd be different in Matchburn. There's quite a few of us. There's too much choice going off. But oh my God, but it's been great practice. I've been catching sort of, first time I come I had 40 odd skimmers and some roach and perch, and I had 55 skimmers in 5 hours and some roach and perch on top. I even had a bream. It wasn't very big. Apparently they used to be 8 to 10 pound in here, but for some reason I've not seen them for years. But I did have one round about 2.5 pound. Steve Whitfield just turned up. So that was a nice surprise. And I lost a couple of them as well. You can tell the bream, it's the way the nod just pulled off pretty much straight away. I don't know why, because I've hardly lost any fish apart from pike. So those 55 skimmers that I had the other day could have quite easily been 70 skimmers with the amount of pike that actually ruined me swinging these in. Not a lot of weight. The first time I came, the 40 odd skimmers seemed to be about 10 poundish, but 10 to 12 pound. This time there were definitely more. I would say 15 pound plus. But I did have some like big chunky perch and some lovely chunky roach, and they seem to weigh more than the skimmers. The skimmers are sort of 4 to 6 ounce. If you get one or two that's a bit bigger, you think they're bigger, but when you lift your net up at end, they look right little. It's like, I'm sure they were bigger than that when I was bringing them in. But interesting fishing. It's 6 degrees this morning. It's a hell of a lot colder. There's quite a bit of, we've had quite a bit of rain. How's that going to affect it? I just don't know. I'm just making sure I've got my wallet to pay on, because Charlie's going to be late. So really looking forward to it. It's called the Autumn Sweep. There'll be sections on first, second and third, I would have thought, but it's the last practice I'm going to get before I go to Tamar. I've got the Shimano Aero Cup on Tuesday. I'm working Monday on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I go down to Devon and Cornwall, that area, to Tamar. Boys are going really early to fish. I ain't doing that. I'll be fishing, practice day on Thursday, then it's the official practice match on Friday, and then the 2 days competition Saturday, Sunday. So I'll get a couple of practice sessions in. That'll give me a dozen practice sessions in the space of about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. I feel quite confident catching the skimmers. I'll tell you what though, I've mentioned it a million times, they are swines to work out what they're wanting feed wise and where they're going to be. It's crackers. The other day I found that they'd moved just off my feed to the left by about 2 meters, and it was incredible. I had like 15 skimmers in the space of 20 minutes. It was just ridiculous. And then they move again. Where have they gone? You know there's loads there because you're getting bites within 30 seconds. So 30 on today. I think it's going to fish a bit hard, especially now it's come a bit cold this last day, so a load of rain's gone in. Could be a different day to the practice sessions. So lines I've been using have been 24 meters and 35. I think the 35 metre line might be the better one to go on today. You could go further, you could go 50 or 60, but Wayne says it's on its skimmers again. No point going that far. You might as well try and get them as close to you as possible and get them in quicker, because that's what these guys have been doing. There's some class acts here today, very good anglers here. I fish against them all the time. So, you know, if you're not on ball, you ain't winning diddly squat. So we'll see how it goes today. Looking forward to it. Already, actually just looking left, just remind me, I need my sunglasses. We've probably got, how long have we got left? So we've got like 15 minutes. I can't believe I have drawn the peg that I've done 2 practices on. In fact, I've been there, where that rock is. I'm 2 yards away. So I know my marker, I know where I've fed bait. It's just shy of 8 seconds, like a few hundredths of a second on stopwatch at 35 metres. I've set one rod up for short, but the short line's not, even though I've caught, it's not been as good as the long line. So I've set 3 rods up for long line, one with a short up length, one with long up length, one with a pellet feeder. So they're the 11 footers. So that's the pellet feeder, the Map Parabolics Pro Black Edition 11 foot. That's the Map Jewel 11 foot, and that's the Map Parabolics 11 foot as well. So that's one I'll be baiting up with and using with my short hook length. That's the pellet feeder. That's the normal 50 to 60 centimetre hook length. This is a 10 foot for 24 metres. It's the Map Parabolics bomb rod Ultra 2, all with Preston extremities. All with Preston 520 extremities. I've got a new one there as well. Lovely reels. I've got 1 ounce and a half ounce tips in. 25 metres. I'm going to start on that, but not for long, because I've found that the long line were better. So I'm going to have half an hour short, unless it's mega. I'm going to put 3 feederfuls there, and I'm going to put 8. I don't know if you can see them. The large Nisa feeder. I'm going to put 8 feederfuls out long, and then after half an hour I'm going to go on it and have a look. Baits wise, we've got maggots, dead reds, live maggots. They'll come to life shortly. Casters, bit of chopped corn, chopped worm, micros. I've caught on the pellet feeder with those. Bit of corn, some pinkies in here I have to get out. obviously chopped worm. I've got some red worm. Red worm and a pinky or a maggot worked well the other day. Had 50 odd skimmers here for about 15 or 16 pound. They reckon you'll need 20 to win it. There is bream here, but they don't seem to get caught very often. I had one the other day, about £2. So just knowing what I know from the last couple of days, just to try and compete, I think the long line is the better one in the deeper water. It's been really cold last night. That's where I'll probably spend most of my match, but I've got to have a look short. I can't just give them the short line. They might not even be fishing it, but I'm certainly going to put 3 in, 8 out long, let that settle, just have half an hour catching 1 or 2, hopefully putting them in the net, and away we go. And then that's it. We'll see where we end up. 60 skimmers is my target. I had a couple of nice perch. I want some of them big perch, they're about £1, so they'd be nice. I'm glad I'm not over there, out of the sun. At least we're in the sun here. I've got some woodies in back just in case it gets a bit cold. Looking forward to it. It's a new match, new venue. Let's see how we get on. Got some great anglers around me. Great anglers. So all the boys that we fish again, like Steve Whitfield, Charlie Simpson, Wayne Bartholomew, Gaz Lambert, England International. There's some great anglers here. It's such a popular match as this, so looking forward to it. Let's get this camera set up and we'll see how we get on today. Testing, testing, testing. I've learned is when you're fishing for these fish in this water, never mind your slow sinking 10 gram feeders, get a 20 or a 30 on, get it down there, you can tighten up quicker, because if there's a lot of fish there you need to be able to see the bites straight away. So now we're all ready. Timer back on. Oh, I nearly went for that. I think I've missed that. Yeah, that's it. Just thought I'd give it a slow pull rather than wasting a cast. And then I knew it were on because I saw it jabbing. Just dangle it over next, it just stops wriggling then. Don't know why. They just stop wriggling. It's as if they're not, I'm caught, I'm done. Right, let me crack on and we'll see if we can get a few more. Bit of a red worm, we'll just nip that bit off. Put that in my feed. Just a little bit too long. Back out, people. Right, we'll speak to you in a bit. So we're up to 8 skimmers and 3 perch. Right, where am I? Skimmer number 4 and 3 perch. Gotta get them in quick. Wayne's just had a duck. Don't know how he's managed that, but he's managed a duck. And it's the short line was just an absolute waste of time. All I had was 2 perch off it. And they're catching 1 or 2 skimmers round me as well. But it ain't as good as when I came the other day. Well, that's a big red worm. So I'll just put half of it on. And I like to cap it off with a maggot because, oh, a bit too aggressive, I can't really see as well with my sunglasses on. I learnt the other day was a little bit of slop and cap it off with your my normal mix seemed to be the best way. So a little bit of red worm, one maggot, and I ended up putting 10 out there and left it. So by the time we got fishing, we were probably 10 or 15 minutes in, then I've had half an hour. Noticed Steve had a couple of skimmers, so I thought, right, that's it, last cast on short line. Probably didn't give it long enough. I've gone out and I've had 4 skimmers in 6 casts, missed a couple bites to start with. They just seemed a bit different to the other day. I was getting proper pulls. These have just been like little jabs today, completely different bites. I know you might be thinking, well, that's a load of rubbish, but they just seem different bites today. Excuse me. And having to wait a little bit longer as well, whereas when I've come practicing, it had already gone by now. It was already round. But that is a good example of, because the bank's full, so it's match pressure. And I've mentioned it loads of times because I know people like to send me messages saying how many they've caught on certain pegs at certain venues that I've fished when they've pleasure fished. But I was getting bites in 30 seconds. Funny little bite, that's not quite, that should be on, yeah. Oh, it's just bumped off. But it is completely different when the bank's full. All them feeders crashing in. Whereas when it's just me, I've got all the fish to myself. And it's much easier for pleasure fishing than it is in a match. And I'm sure there's one or two of you have thought, oh well, we'll just see if that's right, and gone match fishing and hardly had any bites compared to when you've emptied it. Because I've done it myself. Turn up thinking how mighty you're going to be, and and then it's like, oh, I can't get a bite. So I'll just give you an example of how good it was when I was here. So that's settled. This would be the pattern the other day. Just tightening it up, and now it goes. That's when I'm by myself. It's already gone. I'm already reeling and fishing. But not today. Plus the weather's different. It's brighter and it's colder. Yeah, what a difference. Plus, we've got more boaters on as well, canoeists. Little indication. I don't know why I lifted on that. I told myself not to lift on jabs. Got to wait till you see it go 1, 2, and you know it's on. Not the jabs. Now it was positive mind. I'm guessing that would have probably have been a roach. And this is why I've been practicing, just to get used to trying to catch them fish and know when it's a proper bite. I know you might think, well, we all know what proper bites are. But not with these skimmers, they are swines. Just settled. You never know, it might start happening where it goes straight away. So just tightening up after that. A couple of days ago, it had already gone now. Didn't like that. If that's a fish, it's a lot smaller. So hopefully, if we can build the peg up, come on, gotta get him quickly before the pike gets him. You're probably thinking, swinging them in? You've got to do. These crocodiles are ridiculous. So I've gone on to the worm because I found the worm the other day was much better, a red worm. That's another big red worm. Biggest ones I've ever had. And a red maggie. Let's get back out. And what I found the other day as well, later on, I'll go a little bit more left of where I'm casting for some reason. Don't know whether it's the wind or whatever it is, but the fish moved a couple of metres to the left, so that's something I have to bear in mind. I've got to wear my glasses because I can't see that tip without them. So again, just letting it settle like that, tightening that line up because you've got a bow like that going down to your feet, so you're straightening that bow out. There we go. Now that is what were happening when I were pleasure fishing. If it keeps like that all day, I'd be well happy. Come on, there's pike there. Don't be messing about. You don't want them. Nice one. So as you can see, this is how I'm hoping that the fishing in Tamar will be, and this is why I've come, because you really have got to get used to catching these fish. Don't matter if it's not Tamar, I know it's different, but it's just getting the confidence in catching these, because I can't explain to you, unless you fish for them, you'll know. They are swines. Excuse me English. But, and I whittled it down to the best method was definitely medium window, bit of slop, and then a mix of all your particles in. I wouldn't normally have as many particles in, but I just think there's that many fish there, I think you've got to do it. Hit that too hard. I hope the I don't know if I clicked one on or not there, I'm not sure. I'll click another one on just in case. So that's settled. I don't like hitting the clip too hard because it can knock the red worm off, but that's why I put the red maggot on, because you can catch one single maggot anyway. And if I've not had a bite like straight away now, I will put the timer on and I won't leave it more than 2 minutes. There's no point. Got to keep that bait going through. Keep the fish interested in your peg. So I'm beginning to think now already that I've hit that. Oh, I thought I'd hit that clip too hard. Is that a fish on? I can't really tell. No, I think it's come off. It stayed with him, that duck. That duck stayed with you, Wayne. Stayed with you, didn't it? That duck, it stayed with you. Oh, it's a different one. You like the duck whisperer? I think all sorts of crap. I might even try a bit of dendra as well. Yeah. Well, I don't know. He thinks wind's changed. I don't think it's changed that much. We'll see. A little bit gentler. That's more like it. I only just got there perfect, but it was just starting to run out of steam, and that's how I like it to hit the clip, so there's no chance of knocking red worm off. Makes you look a prat if you undergun it though. Just tightening that bow up. What else? I've put you back on because I think this is a better fish. Just hope a pike don't get it. Not many big fish in here, but it's not a big one. I don't think it's a proper breamer out, but it certainly feels bigger. I just thought I'd have to let you have a look, show you the stamp of the slightly bigger ones. That'll do. Yeah, like I said, but it's certainly. I hate it when it does that. That's the only thing with barb ducks. Yeah, they're much nicer skimmers. They're the ones I think that you get at Tamar. So there we go, just thought I'd see that. Let me get back in. Right, we've got just under 3 hours left. And oh my god, bloody pike. I've had at least 6 pike on. And I've been fishing traditional. Red worm and maggot's been the best, but it's gone funny. I've noticed everybody's slowed right up. So I've just put a feeder full out, like a medium knee set, and I've just decided I thought I'll have a quick go on the pellet feeder. In fact, I'm due to. I don't like leaving it out too long, because even on this, if you get bites quick, and I've not had any bites on the last 2 or 3 casts. I'm up to 20 skimmers and three perch, something like that. But I've noticed it's and Steve's just been smashed by a pike as well. I've noticed, I mean, I haven't seen much caught to me left, to be honest. I'm sure they are, but because I'm watching my tip, because you can't really take your eye off your tip. But it's definitely slowed right down. If it hadn't been for pike, I'd have been up to sort of 26 or 7 skimmers plus me perch. But I haven't, so that's just what it is. Not what we can do about it. That'd put me on target for my 50, which would have given me £10 to £15, depending on size of how big the fish are. But there's still time to get that many if they start feeding them. But these pike have completely ruined it. That went in a little bit heavy. So it's all set. I'm not really leaving this more than 3 minutes. I'll have a few casts with this, and we'll get back on the traditional if it's no good. But this can be good, because I've had a session where it was better than traditional. Don't know why, but it just was. And then the next time I came, traditional were better. So I've got to give it a go. But it's just gone funny. I've noticed it's definitely gone funny. So I'm going to have a couple of 3 casts on this. If not, I'll get back on the normal and hopefully start catching again. That's the plan anyway. So we'll just see how things develop. But it's been okay. I have been getting plenty of bites, but it's just gone funny. I really don't know why. All I can think of is probably just those pike, because they've been taking my fish. Big liner. I just had a big liner then. But that could be the pike. Because I had a couple of big liners before, and I'm thinking either bream or other pike. But that's just moved about 6 or 8 inch and then just come back. You can definitely tell bites because it's completely different. So we'll give this that's a minute and a half. No more than 3 minutes. I don't know how anybody else is getting on up to my right, can't really see. Gaz Lambert's reeling another one in with look of it. I've not seen anybody swing any in to my left. I'm sure they've got to be catching. I would have thought there'd be some bream to be caught down to my left. It is deeper down there. But what do I know? Could be completely wrong. Right, so that's the plan. A couple of casts on this. See how it goes. If no join this, back to the traditional. And see if we can get another. I could do with at least another 30 skimmers to give myself a chance of competing for section or top 3. We think £18 going to win it today. I think 50, 55 fish will give you. Was that an indication? Not sure. They'll give you sort of. Depends on weight, however them skimmers weigh. It's hard to tell. I've had one decent one which you saw. I could do with quite a few more of them to get my weight up. 50 skimmers, I reckon they'll probably give you 10 to 13 pound, and any more than that, a little bit more obviously. But it's not looking good. I've had that one little line, but I think we're probably a pike. Time to rechuck it back out, and we'll see you hopefully during the rest of the match catching a few. Right, I've gone. When I mentioned earlier at the beginning, I went to the left in practice. I've just done that now. Put a piece of worm on. I think this is a much better fish, but I've had a really horrible hour. Hopefully. Yeah, it's definitely a better fish. A nice one. That'll do. That's the biggest fish of the day. Much better bite as well. There we go. They definitely count for quite a few skimmers. Oh, I had a piece of worm somewhere. I must have mixed it up. I'll try that again. They're definitely the much better stamped fish that we want. So I'll try that again in the same sort of spot. Like half a dendra. There we go. Got to give that another go. It's really slowed up for me, but it'd be nice if we can get a few of those. Oh, I thought that'd have drifted more. It's still to the left of where I've been fishing, but the other one was a little bit more to the left, maybe another metre, but it's not bad. And I'm sure I've had a couple of them on before, and I'm sure pike have taken them. They seem to have picked when I've thought, oh, this is a better one, and then it's gone. You just feel it go snap. That big crocodile takes it. There's something there. I've just had a few little strange movements with tip. Not enough for a bite for me though. I think they're liners, you know. Little taps. I'm not lifting on them little taps, not with a piece of worm like that. Just little. Wait while it goes a bit more. It's mad how you just have that hour without anything. Up to 20 odd skimmers. I think that's on, yeah. It's not as good as the last one. There you go, look how he just goes quiet in the net. Little hand-sized skimmers. Get back out. That's just at the bottom. You can tell how deep it is. It'd be nice to get a few more of those bigger ones. Definitely. That's what we're after. Could do with. It'd be nice to have a nice little run of them big ones. A dozen or so of them would be lovely. That'd really bump my weight up. So what we're on, 23, we're on 20, I might have missed some, 23 or 4 skimmers and some perch. I know Wayne's been catching quite well. There's not a lot between me and Steve, I wouldn't have thought. Having said that, when I wasn't catching, he's caught half a dozen, so there won't be a lot between us. No idea how they're getting onto my left, no idea at all. But what a lovely place. I don't know whether you can see how beautiful it is. It's a gorgeous place. And the sun's just starting to hit most of the anglers over there. They'll be thankful of that. They must have been frozen this morning. Oh, and we've had boats on us, what I say, windsurfers going around these guys' pegs here. I bet that's drove me insane, that. Luckily they just missed me, so they've gone around these buoys and just missed me short of where I've been chucking, but I've been plagued with pike, which I'm sure has not helped my swim at all. In fact, again, that cast was pretty much where the last one went. I think I'm going to go a little bit more left, because I know fish can back off going out, but they can also back off left and right, so that's what I'm going to do next. Definitely go a little bit further left. That's where I pick the bigger fish up from. It'd be nice to get into a few more of those. So something for you people to remember when you're bream fishing. Just try left and right and to the back of your feed, short of your feed, round where you've been casting most of the day. You usually get some better stamp fish just hanging off the bait. Well, no signs on that one. I'm not going to leave it much more than a slight little indication there. We're just over 2 minutes. I'll just give it a little pull. That can sometimes result in a fish. And if that don't go around in the next few seconds, I'll be recasting. Right, we're an hour and 15 minutes left. I'm up to 30, if I get this, 33 skimmers and 3 perch. And there's been a smaller stamp, hell of a lot smaller. But at least we're catching anyway. Why won't that? That's better. And a lot smaller stamp, so there's no weight actually going in, so it's not particularly that good. I could do with a better stamped fish. None of those better ones have turned up, but I've been moving around my feed. I've actually just put a meter on for this last hour or so, just so it's where the bait's been falling, when the feed has been going down. There's a lot of free offerings at back of where I've been fishing today. So I've just gone on there and I have started catching. I've probably had about 8 or 9, which has taken me up to 30 odd in the last sort of half hour or so. And I just hope we can just continue with that now. Be nice if we can just keep getting them in. But it's been tricky, really tricky, having to work to keep these fish coming. Always trying to think of what's happening, where have they gone. I'm pretty sure them pike have destroyed my swim for a while, because I had an hour I couldn't get anything, and like I said, I think I've had 7 on, something like that. It's certainly been a very enjoyable day, very tricky, but it's all good knowledge in the bank. Now and again I'll really slop the ground bait up and just cap it off with some drier stuff. That makes a difference, but it just, like I say, it doesn't always work that. We're trying to pin them down on the bottom. And the bites as well, it's probably because they're small, they're much more gentle. Like I've just had a little indication there, a tiny indication. Wouldn't normally lift on that, but it did it 2 or 3 times, so I'm just thinking it's small fish shaking its head. Whereas the slightly bigger ones, it's a positive 1, 2, and you know it's on. These are just the smaller stamp, but any fish will do, just got to keep them coming in. That's bigger than I thought, actually. Slightly bigger. Not much bigger, but slightly bigger. Nope. That's 34 skimmers. I've been getting them on worm, little red worm, maggot, bits of worm, double maggot. I'm going to try a double maggot this time. Live maggots. I've caught them on dead maggots as well, and it doesn't seem to make any difference. The stamp's all pretty much the same. But it's good, it's brilliant fishing, is this natural venue. This natural venue fishing, it's so good. Once you're on them, it's great. But it really is trying to just keep them coming. That is the key. And there's been times where I've thought I've put too many particles in, but I'm just thinking there's that many fish in here. I don't think you can overdo it with particles. If it was winter, definitely just 1 or 2, but at the minute I'm convinced it's particles that's keeping them there, because there's that many fish out there. Forever adjusting that tip, because there's that much line with depth on a bow like that, like a concave bow. you forever just change it, but sometimes it don't make no difference. When they're really having it, you can cast in, put your rod down, it's round. But obviously match conditions, it's much more difficult. As you can see, boaters are back out. Not really bothered us, but they just love it on these reservoirs. See people swimming in it and all sorts. One girl told me that she swims in it in December. Bloody hell. Rather than me. Good grief. I can't think of how it worse. It'd be absolutely freezing. I'm hoping that might go around while you're on, but it's not. This is what's been happening. So I'm gonna been using quite a pasty mix. I'm gonna on this next cast. I'm gonna really slop some up and just see if that makes a difference for the next cast. It's just away from my main mix. It's quite a bit more sloppy this, then just cap it off with some drier stuff. So I'm not going to leave it much more than 20. There we go. That one a bit more positive. And it does feel like a better fish. I hope it is anyway. Come on fishy, come in, stop trying hard. There's some great crocodiles out there waiting for you. Oh no, it's the same stamp. What do I know? What do I know about fishies? It felt better. It must have just been trying oh, you bloody thing. It must have just been trying really hard. Right, I just had a lovely bite and pretty much instantly a pike. Pike number 8. Another up length. I've only put another couple of skimmers on, but I'm pretty sure it's the pike that's hanging about out there that's making it go like it is, because Steve's just gone dead as well. But we've got 35 minutes to go and it's just so frustrating. You start getting bites and a pike comes in, then you don't get bites. It's just completely, I think it's completely ruined the swim. It seems funny because when they turn up, you get bites instantly, and then just goes dead. And it's got a bit pike moving in. I can't think of anything else, because I know there's absolutely millions of fish in here. I'm going to say thousands. There's millions of fish, but it seems very strange. Like I can't get a bite now. I just started getting bites again. And now I can't get a bite, so I think I'm going to have to chuck left of where I've been chucking most of the day again, away from where that pike was, and see if there's any fish there. But guys, it's so frustrating. You think you're getting back into it again, and then a bloody pike moves in. You can't get a bite for another half hour. It's just unreal. So you've seen what I'm doing pretty much. We've got half an hour left. I don't know how long these batteries will last on the receiver and the mic, because we have had 5.5 hours. They're supposed to last 6 hours, but just in case it doesn't anyway, what we'll do, we'll see you guys at the weigh-in, and you'll know when I have a little talk afterwards how many more I've got. But it's just, it went dead for half an hour, then I started getting a few indications, then I've had that pike, and now I can't get an indication again. Bloody things. Bloody crocodiles. Old stony eyes. So we'll see you people at the weigh-in. Well, we are all weighed in. Whoa, I forgot to show you that banking, didn't I, what we had to walk up and down carrying his gear. Well, it's good good fitness for Tamar, because apparently we've got some right walks there, but hopefully it's not as steep as that. We have to carry his gear up and down. So, down Flask Reservoir Autumn Stakes, I think they called it. Organised by Wayne Bartholomew, and Bolt had his 10 penneth as well, so thank you guys, thank you. That's Steve Whitlock, by the way. Thank you very much, guys. I've got to say, I think I've seen everybody's faces today, everybody's smiling, everybody's had plenty of bites, including myself. I've ended up with 43 fish which have weighed £10 exactly. There was an £8 something to my left. I don't know what the other weights were further down. I know Charlie's had £12 in the deeper water, and somebody else has had £18 in the deep water. Apparently when they've weighed in, said he just had some better stamped fish, which makes hell of a difference. The two that you saw are mine. I think you need a dozen of them to get to them teens or catch faster. Steve's had £10.13, Wayne's had £10.11, Gaz Lambert's had £14 further down to my right. So I mean, these are all these are class anglers. I don't know what Steve Cooper's had, I know he were catching, but everybody's had plenty of bites. I don't know what they've had on the other side. I'm not going to go back to the pub for the presentation because I have got an absolute load of hook lengths to do with those bloody pike. Them pike, I reckon, have cost me achieving £13 to £15 today, because every time I've got smashed, I've had to wait a while for bites. And it's not as if they were taking them just in front of me like they did the other day. They were taking them. It seemed to be, when I got one where I knew it was smaller fish, it didn't really bother me. As soon as I felt a few nods, I'm going, oh, that's definitely a better fish. No bigger than the biggest ones, maybe a tad smaller. You can just tell. But a better stamped fish, they nailed them every time. The stony-eyed bloody crocodiles drove me mad. 9 I've hooked into today, and it does frustrate you when you know there's been fish in your peg. You work it, you slop it up, you have a couple of quick regular casts, get that feed going in, and then it starts again, and then you get nailed. You get a couple of small ones, you get into a slightly better fish, and then they nail it. It's just... But what I will say, that's been fabulous practice. I've had 3 goes here now. I've had 3 goes at Underbank. I've had 2 days at Elsica. Was it 2? Yeah. So what's that? 6, 8. Where else have I been? Oh no, I've had 4 days at Underbank. And it's been priceless information, basically, sort of gaining the knowledge, what those fish are after. I've managed to catch fish on the pellet feeder, even though they didn't want it today and they didn't want it a couple of days ago. But if they are having it on the pellet feeder at Tamar, especially with the little wafter on, the bites are pretty much unmissable. When you've got a maggot on, or 2 maggots on, you still get a couple of little rattles until they actually hook themselves, then it goes. But with the little wafter, it just goes. So that's been priceless knowledge gained on that, and it's something I used to do a long time ago. Definitely putting the pellets in first for them to swell up and push the bait out is key for me. Tried it with just ground bait and it came back quite a few times with, I've probably pushed it in too hard, but you do want it to get to the bottom. But definitely the pellets at the bottom of the pellet feeder, pushing them out and only soaking in for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, so there's plenty to swell and push everything out, has been great. I've pretty much fished 1 line all day, the short line, which I was hoping to catch some of those roach because they are chunky. I thought if I can get a dozen of 15 roach, because they're like 4 to 6 or 7 ounce, they're good little weight builders, but they didn't last the other day and they've not turned up at all today. I gave it a good half hour, 40 minutes, and all I had were perch. So as soon as Steve caught silvers, skimmers, straight onto that line, and I've started catching. So busy enough day, but it could have been a lot busier. And you've definitely got to keep working and thinking about what those skimmers want. So going from a longer hook length to a short hook length makes a hell of a difference. If they're there and you shorten that hook length, your bites are pretty much instant. So it's been all this has been good knowledge gained trying to catch those skimmers. So thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it too, people. Great scenery. I'm sure the piking down here won't be unbelievable. Well, 3 sessions, I reckon I've probably had on between, I've certainly had 20 on the day, because I just know with my hook lengths. I reckon I've had not far off 50 pike take my fish on that particular peg, because that's where I've practiced. Can't believe I drew it. It's certainly 40 to 50 pike I've had on in 3 days. What? In 3 days, and the proper ones as well. You can't just pull them up. They're not jack pike, the proper ones. But yeah, I feel quite confident going down to Tamar. Again, 2 days practice. I'm hoping that bit of knowledge will help me more whilst I'm down at Tamar. Then I think you're relying on a draw. It'd be lovely to get 2 skimmer pegs, but I'm sure 60 other people will be thinking exactly the same. Can I catch 300 roach? 250 to 300 roach? If I'm honest, I don't think so. I don't think I can catch that many. I've not been anywhere where there's been roach, predominantly roach. Maybe I should have gone to Sally Walsh's and tried to catch as many as I could there. I know there's roach there. So what I will do, if it is a roach peg, I'll just have to get my head down and just really concentrate and try and get them in as fast as I can. I will try and video Tamar. I'll do my best. It might be a case of getting one of the long life batteries. I forgot what they call them. It's like a power pack, and just connecting it up, and I might just press record and just fish, because I don't think I'll have time to be going like this, turning it off, changing batteries. I won't have time for that. I don't want to spend time doing that, so I'll probably just let it go. So yeah, it's a great, loads of people come for walks around here. I'm sure you'd love it just for a walk round. Beautiful scenery, and the fishing is great. You've come for a practice day, you're always going to catch. It's great fishing. So thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have too. So don't forget, people, it is absolutely free to subscribe to this channel. I think £18 will have won it. And if you click that notification bell, you get all our videos as we upload them, and a thumbs up would be very, very nice. I will look out on Facebook, see what the results are, send them to Edley, and hopefully he'll put them up for you. I'll do my best. I am away. I'm busy the next few days, working, fishing. I'm busy. Busy? Fishing? I don't know. So there we go, people. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to fish on, and we'll see you lot down at Tamar. Get in.